今からでも変わろうか？
私のお仕事を取っちゃダメ。
I know, you're busy with your little MMO where you try to pretend to be that big scary skull guy. We opened this week with Minamo cooking for her family as their mother was going to be home late that night. As a result, she ended up kind of spoiling her little brother by not only letting him pick how she cooked their omelet rice, but also letting him watch his and Yaruko's favorite tokusatsu. Meh, that franchise was never the same after they tried to appeal to the MCU crowd. Yeah, I didn't actually realize this until now, but Hayori Naruko-san's original author is writing this show, so of course they're making some of the most overt references to it. Anyway, Minamo called her dad and brother to the dinner table, but apparently this kid has the same viewing habits as me, as he tended to alternate between watching his tokusatsu and magical girl anime. Then again, maybe this is actually a good commentary about how there's a lot of overlay between the genres, genders be damned. But yeah, ironically enough, he was watching a video of Princess Ripple's first fight, which, wait, weren't there supposed to be no civilians around at the time of those fights? So then, who recorded all that? Minamo, where's your mother? We need to check if she has a fro or not. Well, almost immediately we got my answer when the missus came home and she didn't have a fro, so she's off the hook for now. But yeah, Minamo tried to hide her brother's tablet from her mom, Yoko, but she still stumbled upon her, and very interestingly enough, revealed that she used to go to the Owlspear when she was younger too. Granted, if they just went by appearances, I think she and Kiko Inoue could still go there. But yeah, this pretty much opened up the floodgates to some very interesting world building for this episode, with the mother and daughter even watching a few videos together to get her caught up on the current generation. And of course, as a mother and celebrity cook, they started off with one of Kaide's videos. Y'all really aren't helping with all of the Precure comparisons. Actually, I think this is more than just a silly little referential gag, considering that one of the major themes of Heartcatch was respecting the previous generations and the trails that they had helped pave for the current ones. Yoko in particular wanted to impart her love for the Owlspear to her daughter and how much her generation tried to protect the values that the world instilled to them about pursuing their dreams. This is not only fascinating world building that examined the generational gap between the two, it was also pretty touching considering it was a heartfelt discussion between a mother and daughter. One of the most interesting bits for me was the difference in how they got to the Owlspear. So basically, this mother and daughter are the Ojamajo Doremi gen and the Racing Project gen, respectively. But yeah, just really good stuff that both expanded the world of the Owlspear and these two characters. Like seriously, I think this supporting character voiced by Yoshino Nanjo is way more interesting than one of the main characters of the other show she's in. Meanwhile, the Bandersnatch proved to be pretty damn genre savvy when they pointed out the patterns of the superheroines gaining their power-ups, with Minamo just being an inevitability at this point. For Callisto, this is quite the intriguing little proposition, so he decided to confront Minamo directly. And as it just so happened, after their little discussion, Minamo decided to go to the Owlspear alone at this exact moment.
Oh, how convenient!
Also, it was fairly late at night when Minamo normally wouldn't go to the Owlspear, so was Callisto just planning to hang out there until like the next day or something? It's a bit of a contrivance, but at least it gave them quite the picturesque background for their showdown. Anyway, Minamo started off by rightfully being wary about transforming in case of any wayward Jamor sneak attacks. However, Callisto assured her that he wouldn't use any such cheap shots, which I think he was telling the truth. Besides, the real danger was already right there. Okay, that was the best stranger danger detecting face I've seen in a while, which unfortunately is a bit of a rare trait amongst magical girls these days. But yeah, he correctly pointed out that she was in fact the leader of the princesses, and thus if they ever wanted to take them down, she would be the first target. However, Callisto wasn't looking to defeat the princesses just yet, and in fact was interested in fostering Minamo's ability to amplify everyone else's muse essence. Of course, Minamo, being the eternal doormat she was, failed to recognize her own talents, so Callisto did the oldest villain boy to the magical girl cliche ever.
君が欲しい。僕のものにならないか?
That was cringe.
Yeah, not gonna lie, even with Minamo's hilariously cute reaction, I was half tempted to punch out my screen, but fortunately, I didn't. And very thankfully, Minamo did become all business once Callisto suggested that she help them steal Muse Essence. This then led into easily probably the most significant and yet also subtle developments of the series so far, when from Callisto's perspective, he overlaid an image of what appeared to be the legendary Red Princess onto Minamo. And just looking at her, yeah, I could definitely imagine her having the voice of Tsubomi Hanasaki. Again, that Heartcatcher reference was very much intentional. And this pretty much all but confirmed that the Red Princess became a Red Queen, and that the band Snatch were serving the fallen heroine, having likely been her loyal servants, or maybe even fairy partners like Navier, which would also explain why they still want to encourage the development of Muse Essence, whilst trying to steal it. So yeah, this is pretty much a Mirage and Phantom scenario from Happiness Charge Precure, though with seemingly, so far at least, a lot less brainwashing, as all parties seem to be acting on their own will.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
It also nicely ties in with this episode's generational themes that we'll talk more about during the closing thoughts. Anyway, to coerce her with a little more force, Callisto summoned a bunch of Jamorks. Of course, none of them could power up without a victim of the week, so Minamo was able to just kind of musou her way through them until Callisto confronted her directly and revealed that the Rooks had a unique ability even whilst not powered up. They could create a barrier that would act as a little ring for the superheroine and villain. Callisto, of course, tried to intimidate Minamo by saying that she couldn't defeat him alone, but I guess she was in a bit of a Gojo mood that day.
Nah, I'd win.
Yeah, unlike her teammates, Minamo's power-up wasn't a result of wanting to save someone specifically, but rather, and probably more significantly for her character, an internal realization that she could do a lot more than just be a simple cheerleader all the damn time, which is definitely the arc I wanted to see her go down from the beginning of the show. But now, I'm also a little worried considering Callisto's earlier bit that, again, we'll talk more about later. Anyway, new song time, and goddamn, she actually managed to top herself! Like, I still absolutely love Innocent Call, but Fight Might Me, that title aside, it's just an amazing song with great beats and lyrics that really got across Minamo's development over the course of the series so far. Like her first song, it is still mostly about her selfless desire to help others, though now there's a little more emphasis on her own abilities to accomplish this as she is getting stronger. And this is very much visually shown to us with just an absolutely amazing exchange with Callisto. Seriously, I haven't seen sequences this good in some Precure movies, much less a regular episode of a TV series. Hell, I think aside from Hero X, I have not seen an animated action sequence this good all year, period. Anyway, Minamo showed off her new finisher, which she called a hammer smash, but I don't really see a hammer, so I'm not going to use a Gao Gaigar reference, except for maybe in the thumbnail. And she used it to take out all of the Rooks at once after Callisto just kind of bailed on the poor guys. Thus, Minamo did technically win, but also knowing that Callisto didn't sing at all, being that he completely held back against her. And with that, the episode ended with Callisto suggesting that the Band Snatch take more direct measures to deal with the princesses and their developing powers, which even got the okay from Queen Blossom herself. This was just an amazing episode in terms of character and world building. Without even needing to spell everything out, they really got across a lot of interesting details about the Alice Spear and its impact on at least more than one generation from Yoko to Minamo. It also really helps that this is unquestionably the Wire Princess's story, as really she was the only princess who actually appeared this week. Yeah, something I didn't realize until I saw the credits was the fact that Kaguri and Nagase didn't appear in this episode outside of some non-speaking flashbacks. And honestly, I didn't mind it at all, and now I kind of wish that Precure would try episodes like this in order to more effectively execute the development of their main characters. Like, yes, they are shows about teams of superheroines, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't act independently sometimes. Granted, this episode was also kind of about Yoko and her experiences in the Owlsphere, but even that acted as a strong motivator for Minamo, who was now well aware of the legacy that she was trying to protect and given more determination to do so. That said, and in keeping with these themes about generations, and going by Callisto's view, she also seemed to be indirectly carrying on the Red Queen's legacy too. Yeah, perhaps this pursuit of power to protect others was what led to her falling out. After all, as the old sayings go, the path to hell is paved with good intentions, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Thus, Minamo might be on a dangerous path towards either becoming a protector or a tyrant. I think Callisto might be trying to guide her to the former path and save her and their queen, but at this point I'm just kind of making a bunch of very broad predictions. Whatever the case, there was just some really intriguing story beats here, complemented by some great production between a fantastic fight and the best song in the series so far. And overall, this is just a fantastic episode that really makes me excited for Minamo's developments going forward. Will she become like the princess of the past? And if she does, will she go down the same path as her or take a new path? Time will tell what she blossoms into. Thanks for watching, and if you want to try and keep up with the current gen, well, you could certainly do worse than listen to some weird Gen Wire. We've got something new coming out almost every day, and hopefully a new longer form video coming out later this month. Look forward to Comrade Gav, and until then though, for now my friends, and could somebody shut up that living meme machine?